Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far, and welcome to today's video, which is going to be my next episode of Makeup Dilemmas, where I solve your problems, or I try. Can't promise anything, but I try my best to solve your makeup related dilemmas, answer your questions, your queries. I do get a lot of these types of questions and comments on my various social medias, and I just don't have the time to answer every single question. I can't always offer like a makeup consultation. I just don't have the time or the energy, but I decided that I would run this series instead, where it's an opportunity to not only ask your questions, but also to hear everybody else's questions and answers, which may answer some things for you as well. So you must be following me on Instagram. Every now and then, say like every month or so, I will put up a question box on my Instagram stories, and that's where you can put in your makeup related question and have it answered in these videos. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first question from Signups 1, I have a moustache. Me too. I mean, we all have them, okay? Varying degrees of hair, like varying color, depth of hair. So it's more of a problem for some of us than others, but I promise you, we all have one, so you aren't alone. After hair removal, I am left with a shadow. What to do? So this is definitely something that you can improve if it's bothering you. It's essentially hyperpigmentation. So you deal with it in exactly the same way that you would any other hyperpigmentation. There are some very effective skincare ingredients that may help to lighten that area for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to link in the description box a video that I saw from Dr. Dray, who is far more qualified than I could possibly ever dream to be in skincare and issues like this. She did an incredible video on how to fade a dark top lip, and that is going to be far more helpful for you than anything I could ever say. So that video is linked in the description box down below. She also did a video on the best ingredients to look out for in skincare that will combat hyperpigmentation, which is what you are struggling with. So I will link those videos for you in the description box, because Dr. Dray is far more qualified than I am to help you with that problem. Next up, Joanna asked for tips for eyeliner. I just can't seem to master it. I mean, again, it's not just you. You are not alone. I feel like anyone who's not a professional makeup artist, myself included, struggles with eyeliner. It's just hard. It's hard. It's fiddly. I have ginormous hands and fingers. I have huge hands. They're nearly the same size as my husband's, okay? And he's like 6 foot. And I just don't feel like they're cut out for like fiddly little details, which is what eyeliner is. And I have definitely reached a place where I'm confident to do a winged liner like every single time. I know I can do a wing, a decent wing. I'm not afraid to do it anymore. I don't get scared that I'm going to mess up my makeup. I definitely still struggling with doing inner corner liner. Like that is like next level. That is like boss level makeup for dummies. It's very, very hard. Now, you didn't say whether it's wing liner or just eyeliner in general, but some of my top tips for how I have improved, and I'm continuing to work on my eyeliner skills. One, practice it I know the thing is, when you feel like you're definitely going to mess it up, you don't want to do it, do you? Because you feel like you're going to ruin your makeup. So every time where you have a stress-free makeup application, maybe you're not going anywhere that you're particularly worried about, or you know you can just do your eyes first today and then you can always wipe it off. You've got plenty of time. It's not a stressful situation. Do it every single time. It's definitely a practice makes perfect situation. There's really no way around that. It is going to get better and better the more often you do it. So, you know, grab your liner. Don't be afraid of it. Second of all, find a liner that helps you. My favorite is the KBD Beauty liner. I feel like that really helped me get better. There are liners that are like trickier to work with, and that is frankly the last thing we need. We need help, not hindrance. You need one that is not too flexible, not going to lay down too much. It's going to be light and easy to do a light stroke rather than it's suddenly giving you a whole panda black eye off the bat. So I would definitely suggest trying the KVD liner, or just finding one that works for you and helps you, whether it's the size of it, the color, whatever. Another tip to do is to start with powder eyeshadow and a really teeny little brush. I've got an amazing brush from Rephr that I will link down below that really is perfect for doing a wing with shadow, and then you can go over that with your liquid liner, and that's again a great sort of intermediate step, okay? Much easier than just going straight in with a liquid liner. It gives you like, you're tracing, essentially. We can all do that. Eyeshadow is much less risky and easier to correct, so I would definitely start off trying eyeshadow in a really fine brush to wing out your shadow, and you can always go over the top of it with a liquid liner to deepen it up, and then just, you know, slowly over time, you won't need the powder anymore. So those are a few tips, but the number one thing is it's practice, and that is the only thing that really is going to help you get better. Next up, Hollyberry Bunny. I adore your name. It's just delightful. Asks, a black pencil liner for tight lining that does not transfer to the lower lash line. Most promise this, but fail. So I would say that if you have tried a lot of liners, which it sounds like you have, and they all do that, I don't know that we're going to find you one that is going to be much better. It may be that you have oily lids, and that is what is making your liner transfer. Try a waterproof liner. That's something to give a go. But my top tip for stopping like upper liner transferring onto your lower eyeball area is to set it. Did you know you can do that? I can't remember who taught me this, but it was someone far cleverer than me. Take a teensy tiny, very dense eyeshadow brush and some black eyeshadow and gently and carefully press it on top of the liquid liner that you are using. Bob's your uncle. It sets it just like you would set your concealer. Did you know we were supposed to be doing this, or that you could do this? I didn't until I did. And now I'm sharing the wealth with you guys. Give that a try if you haven't already. So Ali says, bits on my face. I'm so sorry. I assumed that you're shouting because it's capital letters, and that's what that means here. I clean my brushes and sponges every time I use them, but they're still there. So there's a lot to unpack here, Ali. I'll say that. Bits of what? What are we talking about here? Is it bits of sponge and bits of brush? Or is it skin? Now, it's alarming me that you're saying that you clean your brushes every time you use them. Sponge, sure. I'm all for cleaning my sponge every time I use it. That I can get on board with. If you're cleaning your brushes, particularly if they're natural hair brushes, every time you use them, I feel like you're damaging your brushes. That's too much. You shouldn't be cleaning them every time. And you definitely shouldn't have to clean them every time, trying to avoid getting bits on your face. So I don't know what's going on here, but it sounds like the brushes that you're using may be the issue. If you're having to clean them every single time and they're leaving bits, either they are micro exfoliating your skin, and so what's actually happening, the bits are like makeup, or they're like skin because you're exfoliating with the brushes because they're too hard, too rough, or they're like causing damage to your skin, or disturbing the makeup and making bits of makeup flake off. The other thing that could be going on here is that they're disintegrating, and that's what you're getting, bits of brush, bits of sponge on the skin. I would definitely have a look at like the quality of brushes and sponges that you're using, and just working on applying less pressure if what is happening is that you are micro exfoliating with your brushes. But yeah, if you have really high quality brushes, definitely don't wash them that often, okay? Please. Unless, of course, you're a makeup artist and working on other people, in which case, I get it, you have different rules. Sinead asked how to get makeup to stay on an oily T-zone. So there's a few things that I'm aware of. I do get a slightly oily T-zone, nothing crazy, but so yeah, for me, it's primers. I love my MAC Prep and Prime Pore Refining, whatever that one is called, I'll link it down below, for the nose area. Obviously using an oil controlling primer and a foundation that works for an oily skin type, and then setting with a powder using a setting spray as well as an extra step. But if you are oily skinned, I had a few questions about oily skin and best primers for oily skin and how to make makeup last longer for oily skin. I don't have an oily skin type, but I know there's lots of people watching who have an oily skin type. So please, if you have an oily skin type, drop your suggestions and your products and your recommendations in the comment section down below. This is a team effort, okay? It's not all about me. We're all here, we're a family. And this is our safe space, and we're all here to share our wisdom. It's a team effort for sure. Next up, Karen asked, how do I choose colours that look put together, especially lip colours? So here's the thing. I think you mean like colours, how do they go together and they look like a completed look, right? So I know obviously there are colours that are different that will work together, combinations that are maybe less expected that will work together. But if colour theory and like matching and doing a look and combination of colours is something that you struggle with, there are very like simple ones to stick to. So either go for like a monochromatic look, so everything is the same. So you go nude eyes, nude cheeks, nude lips. That is never going to let you down. That's always going to work together. Nude everything is going to work. Neutral everything together is going to work. All pink, pink eyes, lips and cheeks is always going to work. You can also mix in a nude in any category and that's always going to work. So you can do, you know, pink lips and cheeks and nude eyes. You can do nude or neutral cheeks and pink eyes and lips. That's always going to work. Throwing a neutral in with an otherwise monochromatic look is always going to look put together. That would be my recommendation if you find it really tricky putting colours together, is either stay in the same colour family or whack in a neutral on the lips or on the eyes and then match up the other areas. It's just the easiest, simplest. You don't have to look for colour combinations of colour families. Keep it simple, you know. Shelley asked, eyeshadow for blue eyes. Do you know what I am obsessed with that I find like really brings out the blue in my eyes is greys, grey tones. That is like when I feel like my eyes pop the most. I think greens as well look really gorgeous with blue eyes. I don't really pay much attention to this, to be honest. I'll put whatever colour I feel like putting on my eyes regardless of my eye colour. But I definitely have noticed that when I sort of notice how blue my eyes are looking, it's the greys, these grey smoky tones. Chef's kiss. Laura asks how to use sunscreen, primer and foundation without messing it up. The key here is time. As much time as possible between each step, particularly SPF. You need as much time between SPF and makeup as you can possibly stretch it. That's why I would say if you're in a rush and you haven't got that much time, I would go for a primer that has SPF in it and then skip, or use an SPF but skip primer so that you can leave as much time as possible in between those two. If you have time, give it time. The longer the better between SPF and primer or foundation. I think the Laura Mercier primers are amazing. They have a really high SPF and you can obviously use a large amount, but they don't work for everybody. I think if you have an oilier skin type, a lot of them are very glowy, so you may not want to do that. But yeah, for me, it's if you're using a standalone SPF, you just need as much time as possible between applying that and applying primer and then foundation. Delighted asks for the best waterproof eyeliner and mascara because she's going to be a bride and she knows she's going to be emotional. Congratulations, first of all. Second of all, I hate waterproof mascara, don't use it, but I did use it on my wedding day. That was the only exception. I also did my own mascara. I had a makeup artist who did all of my makeup other than mascara because I said I wanted to do it myself because I like my mascara a certain way and I wanted it how I wanted it on my wedding day. Okay, no one can do it like me. It's hard to do mascara on other people, I feel like, but I wanted to do my own that day. And I used the Lancome Monsieur Big Waterproof. I don't like waterproof mascaras as much as regular mascaras, but it is a necessity on your wedding day. The other thing to try that I've seen has been very effective for lots of people is the Huda Beauty Waterproof Top Coat. So that will give you the opportunity to use your normal mascara that you know you love and then give it a coat of waterproof Huda Beauty Top Coat and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Waterproof lashes. I would suggest giving that a trial run a few times. You know, apply it and then get in the shower, see what's happening. That would be my suggestion. I would definitely give it a trial run just to make sure that it actually works with the mascara you've chosen. But anyone else, waterproof liners and mascara suggestions and tips in the comment section, please. M. Sutz asks how to clean up after getting mascara on my eyelid while applying it. Always ruins my look. I've got you. I get mascara on my lid every single time. I have ginormously long eyelashes. They always touch my eyelid. I am an expert. I feel like I should have a certificate on my wall for this because I'm a pro at it. Now, I feel like everyone knows that you need to use a Q-tip to combat this. But do you know that you must, I repeat, you must, it's non-negotiable. You have to wait hold your horses, have patience, don't panic whatever you do. Wait until that mascara has dried. Okay, when it immediately happens, it's wet. So when you start going at it with a Q-tip like a mad woman, it just smudges everywhere, or you lift up the eyeshadow and it's a terrible, terrible, torrid time. If you just wait, leave it a few minutes, carry on, don't panic. You're just going to do your foundation now, and we'll come back to that in a moment. And once it's dry, you can very lightly, with like no pressure, buff it off, and it will come off far easier without smudging. It will just, it's like flaked off essentially is what's happening, and it's much easier, destroys your makeup way less, doesn't move the eyeshadow underneath, and it doesn't smudge it and make it worse. Just wait for it to dry. Just chill out, man. It'll be fine. Next up, Dray 98 Stout asks, I have cool undertones and can't find a lip liner that doesn't look orange. So it sounds like, again, it sounds like you've already tried a fair few. So I don't think there's much point in me recommending a specific liner, because it may not work, especially if you've tried a lot and they all are doing the same thing. So there's a few things that may be happening here. Obviously you say you have cool undertones, and so everything looks warm on you, but it could also be the natural color of your lip, especially if actually the lip liner is like turning orange. It could be that your natural lip color is very, very warm, and that's why everything that you apply on top of it looks very, very warm. So what I would give a try is applying foundation on your lips, or concealer, whatever. As you're doing your makeup, just dab the sponge over your lips to give it that barrier and to tone down the natural color, the natural warmth in your lips, and give that a try. Please let us know if you've tried that. Please let us know if it works. That's something that I've noticed. If I'm trying to tone down how much my natural lip color is affecting a lipstick or a gloss that's on top, then I would try patting down some foundation. Really, really light layer, nothing that's going to feel horrible, and just see whether that helps or what goes on top. Alina Dunn, every time I apply my Tatcha liquid primer, my foundation looks so dry. I feel like I have bad news. So here's the thing. Not every primer is going to work the same for everybody, unfortunately. I have a normal skin type, and both the liquid and the original silk canvas work beautifully on me, on my skin type. However, if you have a more oily or a more dry skin type, there's no guaranteeing they're going to work the same way for you. So it could be the sad fact that that primer just doesn't work for your skin type, and that is sad, because that's expensive. I also stumbled upon this post from Tatcha the other day where they were saying, you know, if you can't choose between our primers, whether you go for the original or the liquid version, they recommend for dry skin or dry climates, the silk canvas, the original, is the one for you. And if you have oilier skin or you're in a humid climate, the liquid silk canvas is the better one for you. So it sounds like actually Tatcha do not recommend the liquid for drier skin types. So yeah, unfortunately it does just sound like that primer is not the best for drier skin. Sounds like the original is going to be more up your street. But good news, if you purchased it from Space NK, I don't know where you're from or where you're based, but if you did purchase it from Space NK, they do a free exchange. So it could be, if you haven't had it that long, that you could take it back and get the original. Worth a try. All may not be lost just yet. Next up, Gaza Labkenar, I'm sorry if I've butchered your Instagram handle, which is the best Pat McGrath starter palette. This is tricky. It depends. It depends if you care about budget. If like money is no object, I would always recommend going for a Mothership palette, because that is the brand's signature palettes. You can't go wrong. You won't be disappointed if you choose a colour story that you like, that you enjoy, that will work for you and your tastes and preferences. The experience of a Mothership is like nothing else. However, if you don't want to, you know, fork out £120 on your first ever palette from a brand, and you don't know if it's going to work for you, if you're going to like it, I would 100% recommend going with the quads. Which specific quad is going to be down to your personal preference. My favourite is Venus and Fleurs. I think that's my favourite quad. I absolutely love it. It gives me, you know, a taste of a few different formulas and finishes, which I really like. I want to try the mattes, the shimmers, and like a special shade. Then that's what I'm getting in there. So that would be a really great one if you like like more neutral looks, that's very versatile for daytime and evening, and it's a lot less money and financial investment than a Mothership for your first palette. Also, you know, the holiday palettes are incredible value for money. You get way more shades, but at the same time they are like more creative. Like the color stories in there are not as easy to look at and put looks together. So it really depends what you're looking for, something easy to work with and something that is going to help you know color combinations, or whether you're concerned with the price point. So yeah, that would be my recommendations. If money is no object, I would 100% go for Mothership palette. Which one is up to you really, which colour story you lean to the most. My favourite at the moment is Midnight Sun, but also if you don't want to fork out £120 straight away off the bat, then I would highly recommend the Venus in Fleurs palette, because it gives you a taste of multiple different formulas, and it's just a gorgeous palette. Danielle just returned from holiday, lucky you, and my face is now much lighter than my body. I know the struggle, I've got you. This is how I spend my entire life. My face is like 16 shades lighter than my body because I won't let my face see the sun. I have a hat, I'm in the shade, SPF 50 on my face and neck all year round, and you know, my body does get far darker than my face. I try to keep my face in the shade as much as possible. So especially in summer, but all year round, there's a significant difference between the colour of my face and the colour of my body. So I am very experienced with this problem. So there is a few things that I enjoy that help with this situation. One, the Chantecaille anti-aging face tint or the By Terry CC serum in Sunny Flash are a great way to like match up a little bit if you're going makeup free. If you want your face and body to match up but you're not like applying foundation, then those two, you know, something with a hint of a bronze colour just to kind of match everything up and look more even between your face and your body colour. Those two products are both gorgeous. I think I prefer the Chantecaille. That's my favourite. It's beautiful. It also is going to give you a gorgeous glow and an more even complexion. That I love if I'm trying to match up. You can also use, you know, some fake tan for your face. There are a lot of like tanning mists. I don't use them, so I don't have any suggestions, but maybe someone does in the comment section down below. You could always, you know, use some tanning water or something like that to match up your face to your body. For me, I don't bother because I'm doing a lot of skincare, which is another reason why my face is so much lighter than my body. So that's just not going to stay on there for very long. And I don't really mind that much. You know, if I feel like the difference is insane and I want to make it less, then I'll use my Chantecaille. But a lot of the time, I'm just so used to it, I don't really care, to be honest. I have to have like summer foundations and winter foundations, and then I can mix the two in between times, but I match my foundation kind of halfway between my face and body. If I match my body, I feel like it's too much work for the foundation to do to give me an even colour, and then I'm going to have to take it all down my whole neck and my ears and everything, and it's just a lot of work. So I try to match like halfway between like my face colour and my body colour, and that kind of helps everything look more like normal and less crazy, but without it being really hard work and having to apply the foundation over my entire head. So those are some of my little tips for a mismatched face and bod, of which I am year round a victim also. Buchan F asks how to stop shimmer/glitter fallout. I always end up looking like a disco ball. I mean, who doesn't want to look like a disco ball? Am I missing something? Now, obviously, different shadows have different amounts of fallouts. So you could stick to less sort of crumbly, less glittery formulas. I feel like Natasha Denona's formulas, for example, have less fallout than Pat McGrath's. ABH glitters have less fallout than Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath is probably the brand that has the most fallout that I use. So you can use different formulas. You could use cream shadows if you want to completely avoid any glitter, specks or fallout. For me, I don't, because I love Pat McGrath shadows, especially the glitters and the shimmers, the ones that are most likely to leave some fallout. So I don't care about it. I just do my eyes first. I do my eyeshadow. When my eyeshadow has finished, I'll take a baby wipe or a cotton pad and just wipe the glitter away with like some toner or something. If I've done my skincare, then I will just pat. But ultimately then if I go in with primer and foundation, it's pretty much covered anything that's left on my face anyway. So I will just dust it off with a brush or wipe it away before I go in with foundation, and it doesn't matter. Definitely do your eyes first. You can also use things like a glitter primer. You could use the pen from Pat McGrath to stop the fallout being so extreme in the first place, some adhesive or something like that. I never bother with that, to be honest, because I'm lazy, and also fallout just doesn't bother me that much. I would just do my eyes first, and then it's not really an issue because it hasn't sort of fallen all over my face and messed up my foundation or anything. But yeah, eyes first. Use a primer if it's really bothering you, a glitter adhesive, but dust away with a brush or wipe away, and then no one's going to notice it. Joe says, I've got an 18-hour travel/flight day soon. What is the best mascara to last the haul? I mean, you know what my favourite mascara is. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Lashes. That's my favourite mascara. Have I ever tried wearing it for 18 hours? Definitely not. I never wear makeup when I'm flying. I can't stand it. I could not. But here's a question. Could you apply the mascara on the plane? Does it have to last 18 hours? I don't know. Or could you, go to the bathroom with an hour until you land? If you're wanting to come off looking like a bombshell, could you just, nip to the loo or take on a little mascara mini and a mirror and just, do your mascara just before landing? I don't know. If you are a flying makeup wearer, please let us know. Have you ever gone on an 18-hour flight with mascara on and found that you look fresh as a daisy on the other end? I couldn't, because I tell you now, I'd be asleep the whole time. And I would wake up just looking far worse than when we started. I used to fly to Australia every winter to train when I was swimming. And that's like a 24-hour flight. And one time I slept for the entire flight. All right? So that's how I roll. I'm really not a glam traveller, I'm afraid. Joyce asked, what colour blush in which season? I mean, Joyce, you do whatever you want. I won't be controlled by the seasons. Are you mad? You can do whatever you like. If you wanted to go with like the stereotypical, what people will say, oh, this is a spring summer blush, this is this, then the typical thing is like autumn or fall. If you are American, it's typically like bronzy, neutral, warm tones on the cheeks. It's copper tones, it's browns, it's bronzes. That's what people will say is like your winter, your autumn, winter type of colours. You want to warm yourself up, be toasty from the cheeks. Spring, it becomes all about your peaches, your oranges, your corals, and then they just get hotter in summer. You're more vibrant, your poppy shades, your fuchsias, brighter in summer, but still on the same sort of colour story as in spring, just more, because we're all a bit more tanned and we want more vibrancy. But quite honestly, I don't really abide by any of these rules because I just do what I want to do, and I'm really a peachy girl all year round. I don't suddenly hit autumn and like become a different person. I'm pretty much wearing peach January to December and living my best life. So there we have it. That is all of the questions that I have time for today. Thank you so much to all of you who submitted a question. Please, as always, let's hear your tips and tricks as well in the comments section down below. It's always so helpful to get as many thoughts and opinions as we possibly can and help each other out in the comments section. As always, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye.